Welcome to our historical journey through the governors, general and viceroys of British India. These figures, often cloaked in controversy, played pivotal roles in shaping the destiny of a subcontinent. From the echoes of the East India Company's early dominance to the tumultuous birth of an independent India, their decisions reverberate through the annals of history. We'll explore the key figures who shaped the subcontinent from the 18th century to India's independence. Each man, a product of his time, brought with him his own convictions, ambitions and flaws. Join me as we delve into their stories, unraveling the complexities of their legacies and their profound impact on the land and its people. In the humid heart of 18th century Bengal, we encounter Warren Hastings, the first Governor-General of Bengal. Tasked with bringing order to a chaotic landscape, Hastings found himself walking a tightrope between consolidating British power and navigating the intricate web of Indian alliances and rivalries. His tenure, marked by both administrative acumen and accusations of corruption, set the stage for the British Raj. Hastings, a man of contradictions, left behind a legacy as intricate as the Mughal miniatures of his time. He laid the foundations for a centralized administration, established courts of law, and patronized Indian art and culture. Yet his methods, often ruthless and driven by the insatiable appetite of the East India Company, sowed the seeds of discontent that would eventually challenge British dominance. Lord Cornwallis, arriving in India with a reputation for integrity, sought to bring order and efficiency to the burgeoning Raj. He introduced the Cornwallis Code, a sweeping set of legal reforms aimed at curbing corruption and establishing a more equitable system of justice. His efforts to reform the civil service, though well-intentioned, laid the groundwork for a bureaucratic elite that would come to define British administration in India. Cornwallis's legacy, however, extends beyond administrative reforms. He is also remembered for his role in the Third Anglo-Mysore War, a conflict that cemented British supremacy in southern India. His victory over Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore, marked a turning point in the balance of power, further consolidating British control over the subcontinent. The dawn of the 19th century saw the arrival of Lord Wellesley, a man of imperial ambition. Wellesley believed in the British Empire's destiny to rule India and pursued an aggressive policy of expansion through a combination of diplomacy and military might. His campaigns against the Marathas, a powerful confederacy in western India, significantly expanded British territories and solidified their dominance. Wellesley's expansionist policies, while successful in the short term, came at a cost. The constant warfare drained the company's coffers and sowed the seeds of resentment among the Indian rulers who saw their power dwindling. His legacy is a complex one, marked by both territorial gains and the escalating tensions that would eventually lead to the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Taking the helm after the turbulent years of expansion, Lord Hastings focused on consolidating British power and establishing stability across the subcontinent. He fought the Gurkha War in the Himalayas, extending British influence into the foothills of the mountains. His administration also saw the introduction of several social reforms, including the abolition of sati, a practice where widows were expected to immolate themselves on their husbands' funeral pyres. Hastings, a patron of the arts and sciences, encouraged the study of Indian languages and culture. He commissioned the construction of grand buildings and infrastructure projects, leaving an indelible mark on the landscape of British India. However, his tenure was not without its challenges, as the growing discontent among Indians with British rule began to simmer beneath the surface. Lord Dalhousie, arriving in India during a period of relative peace, implemented a series of policies that would have far-reaching consequences. He is perhaps best known for the doctrine of lapse, a controversial policy that allowed the British to annex princely states if the ruler died without a male heir. This policy, along with his annexation of Punjab and Awadh, significantly expanded British territories, but fueled resentment among the Indian aristocracy. Dalhousie's legacy is also intertwined with the introduction of technological advancements that would transform India. He oversaw the construction of the first railway lines, the introduction of the telegraph system, and the development of a modern postal service. These innovations, while modernizing India, also served to strengthen British control and facilitate the movement of resources and troops. Lord Canning, the first Viceroy of India, assumed office amidst the tumultuous events of the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. This uprising, sparked by a series of grievances against British rule, shook the foundations of the Raj and forced a reassessment of British policies in India. Canning's handling of the rebellion, marked by both firmness and a degree of reconciliation, proved crucial in restoring order to the subcontinent. The aftermath of the mutiny marked a turning point in British rule. The East India Company was dissolved and India came under the direct control of the British Crown. Canning, navigating this turbulent period, oversaw the transition to a new era of British administration, one marked by greater sensitivity to Indian sentiments and a gradual shift towards greater Indian participation in government. Chapter 7. Lord Lytton, the Viceroy of Imperial Grandeur. Lord Lytton, a man of literary talent and imperial ambition, arrived in India determined to enhance British prestige and power. His tenure was marked by a series of grand durbars and elaborate ceremonies designed to showcase the might of the British Empire. However, his policies often clashed with the growing aspirations of the Indian people, leading to increased tensions and discontent. Lytton's most controversial decision was to launch the Second Anglo-Afghan War, a costly and ultimately unsuccessful attempt to secure British influence in Afghanistan. The war drained the Indian treasury and fueled anti-British sentiment. His attempts to curtail the freedom of the Indian press further alienated the educated Indian elite, setting the stage for the rise of Indian nationalism. Chapter 8. Lord Curzon, the architect of modern India. Lord Curzon, a man of immense energy and vision, is often remembered as the Viceroy who modernized India. He implemented a series of administrative reforms, strengthened the financial system, and reorganized the army and police. Curzon believed in efficiency and order, and his policies, while often beneficial, were criticized for being overly centralized and insensitive to local customs. His most controversial act was the partition of Bengal in 1905, a decision he believed would improve administrative efficiency, but which sparked widespread protests and fueled the flames of Indian nationalism. Curzon's legacy, like many of his predecessors, is a complex one, marked by both progress and controversy. Chapter 9. Lord Irwin, the Peacemaker. Lord Irwin's tenure as Viceroy coincided with a period of heightened nationalist agitation in India. Mahatma Gandhi's rise to prominence and the growing demand for self-rule presented Irwin with unprecedented challenges. Recognizing the need for dialogue and reconciliation, Irwin engaged with Gandhi and other nationalist leaders, seeking to find a peaceful resolution to the escalating tensions. His efforts culminated in the Gandhi-Irwin Pact of 1931, a significant step towards granting India greater autonomy. Although the pact did not fully satisfy the demands of the Indian nationalists, it marked a turning point in British-Indian relations, paving the way for future negotiations and ultimately India's independence. Chapter 10. Lord Mountbatten, Witness to the Dawn of Independence. Lord Mountbatten, the last Viceroy of India, arrived in 1947 with the momentous task of overseeing the country's transition to independence. With the Indian subcontinent engulfed in the throes of partition, Mountbatten faced the daunting challenge of ensuring a peaceful transfer of power amidst communal violence and mass displacement. On August 15, 1947, India awoke to a new dawn, free from centuries of British rule. Mountbatten's role in this historic event, though fraught with complexities and shadowed by the tragedy of partition, marked the end of an empire and the birth of a new nation. Outro: Legacies in the Tapestry of Time. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey through the lives and legacies of the Governors-General and Viceroys of British India. Their stories, woven into the intricate tapestry of time, offer a glimpse into a pivotal period that shaped the destiny of a subcontinent. From the echoes of early trade to the tumultuous struggle for independence, their decisions continue to resonate, reminding us of the complexities of power, the enduring human spirit, and the ever-evolving relationship between the governed and those who govern. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights into the past.